We just look at the picture and say, that's beautiful.
Okay, cool. Like you just said to me, you look at pictures and see the lights. But for some reason, when you take a picture of the sky, you disregard all those lights. Why
Right,
is
hold
that?
on, Josh. Let's just get our point clear. You're asking how high a 10-foot wall is. So let's just give these wind turbines, if you click on my face in the Hangout, you've got some wind turbines, right? Now, according to the curve calculator, these wind turbines are falling away in line with the curve of the Earth. So, you would agree that the first one in the near foreground, that this one is 100 foot, but this one in the distance is also 100 foot, even though it's lower. Correct, Josh? They're both 100 foot, like your 10-foot wall. Just something we can actually look at, though. Correct?
I don't know, Nathan. You're
I'm telling
me.
you, just listen. Listen, Josh. Listen. Open your ears and listen. Listen to the words coming out of your mouth. I'm telling you, for the sake of this example, all of these wind turbines are the same size. We know this for a fact. Now, just to keep the numbers...
Nathan, where are they? Where are these?
Who cares?
Can we Google them? Can we look them up? Can we find them on Google Earth?
Yes.
Yeah.
So where are they?
They're off the coast of Blackpool. Why? Who cares?
Reference, Nathan. We're talking about factual things, right?
We've gone into them in detail. It's not relevant to my example. If you could shut up and listen long enough.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Right. So all of these are metaphorically a series of 10-foot walls, Josh. Do you need to tell me that they're turbines, or do you understand a metaphor? I'm a retard. I don't get a simple metaphor.
Metaphorically 10-foot walls. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
lots of 10-foot walls, Josh. Lots of 10-foot walls, one in front of the next. Do you understand my metaphor?
Sure. Go.
Excellent.
Carry on.
According to the curve calculator, these are going over the curve of the Earth. Would you agree with the curve calculator in its assessment of what we see of a series of 10-foot walls going further into the distance, that they are going over a curve?
Yep.
You would agree that these are curving in conformity with a sphere Earth, Josh?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
Kind of looks like it? Yeah?
Kind of looks like it.
Just kind of looks like it. But hold on, Josh. Hold on. We've got a wall that's 10 foot. Why isn't the wall behind it also 10 foot? I don't get it. They're further into the distance, but one 10-foot wall is bigger than the other 10-foot wall. What's going on, Josh? Why would that be? Curve of the Earth, right?
Yeah.
Curve of the Earth.
Yeah, that's right. You just said it. It's going over the curve of the Earth.
Hold on. No. Let's just talk about this a little bit longer. So it's going along the curve of the Earth. And the maths agree with you, Josh. As we measure out the distances between 9 miles and 12 miles, the distance from the first to the last turbine, they absolutely are, unequivocally, getting further away and going over the curve of the Earth, exactly in line with what the curve calcs say. But we assert, Josh, that the curve calcs omit perspective. They don't include the virtue of things getting smaller into the distance exactly as we see in these wind turbines. It doesn't include that element. The mathematics only account for the sphericity with actual sizes. So all of these walls are all 10 foot. Right, Josh? Even though they're going over the curve. But according to you, they're built on a curve. So when we start looking along the x-axis from the y, we start finding... from the z, sorry. When we start looking at the x-axis from the z-axis, we find that they are unequivocally not built on any curve. They're not conforming to the curve of the Earth, Josh. They're built perfectly level with each other. All of them are in a line. So they're falling away in line with the curve calcs, and yet they're all built perfectly parallel. It's amazing. How is that possible? Well, it's funny because we can also look at the same picture a different way. We can look at the fact that things get smaller into the distance and say it's just perspective. And what do you know? When we look at these things, they definitely aren't built around any curve. You can see it right Now, there they are, all the same height, all in a line, all parallel with the very flat line that they sit on. Because they are built flat, like everything's built flat. But when we see them looking down the line, we see them getting smaller with distance. That would be called perspective.
Do you think, Nathan, that green line, do you think that's passing through the center of which set? Like, I'm literally just seeing some random lines strewn across a picture. Like, what do you think you're looking at?
I know what I'm looking at. You don't have the slightest vaguest notion what we're looking at. We're looking at a row of wind turbines, and Ranty has gone through with all of these colours, and you can see as it gets to the end of the picture, and I'll even pause it for you. Damn it, I missed it. We'll let it run through again. I don't see why not. So these are what you just saw along the x-axis from the z-axis. So you've moved your position to look along this row of wind turbines. There are also other rows. They don't just have a single line of wind turbines. So Ranty has gone through, and again, useful that we've got perspective because we can see which row lines up with which, because they're all perfectly parallel with each other, and the ones that don't line up are slightly smaller because they're further away. Shock horror. Perspective lets us work out which ones are in line with which, and you can draw a line through the hub, which is precisely what Ranty has done. He did it live. He did it on a show. To work out precisely where they were, it took hours. It took a very long time for him to geographically work out on Google Earth exactly what position this was and where he was looking down which line. And he located them to he has every single one of these wind turbines marked out perfectly. So if you want to challenge these photographs, feel free to go back to debate number 177, where he went through this information originally.
That green line and that red line has not passed through a single center of any one of those wind turbines.
It's at the end of the video. You can see where they stop. That's the height of the wind turbine. You got to learn to pay more attention, man.
Armin, I'm paying a lot of attention. That red line and that green line, they're not passing through a single... Obviously, we're trying to line up the center of the turbines. That's not passing through a single line.
Look at the red line, not the other lines, the red line.
The red line is not passing through a single center of a turbine.
I like red line.
That's a good one.
See?
Could you show me?
You see that endpoint?
Could you take it back and show me which line, which two turbines?
Wow.
Too late. Told you.
You know what? I see a straight line. Nope, it's curved.
Now you see these wind turbines.
It wasn't passing through.
Do you see these wind turbines right here? This is the Z-axis.
So bad.
You see these wind turbines? This is the Z-axis of these wind turbines.
Hey man,
right?
hey, I'm so sorry.
So just hold on one second. Just hold on one second.
You've already rage quit over a conversation with me, man. I can't talk to you. You got nothing.
What? What are you smoking?
Remember when I asked you about?
Listen, don't divert. Don't divert.
Going up high and the horizon dropping, and
please
you rage quit because you couldn't.
This is the Z-axis. See the Z-axis here of these wind turbines. Now, when he shifts to the X-axis, you're looking at the X-axis of these turbines. They are the red line. You see that red line? They go right through the hubs.
What hub? What hub? That's going over the hub. That's going over the hub.
Josh, shut up for a moment and look at the picture. Shut up for a moment. Look at the picture. Just before the end, you'll see exactly which hub, the center point of the wind turbine, the spinning thing. Really, just shut up for a second and watch. Just shut up for a second and watch. When the lines end, they are going to end up exactly at the center of one of the hubs.
Arwin, you were with me when John rage quit about trying to ask about the horizon.
I don't care. Stop obfuscating.
What the hell?
Dude, you don't even understand basic perspective. This is just...
Don't you remember that, John? That's so funny.
Sorry, are you actually here for a debate, or are you just here to troll?
I came here to ask you how high a 10-foot wall was, and none of you can actually answer.
The question is retarded.
from our perspective.
Okay. Do you see the red line going through the hubs?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Josh, I'll ask you a question on a similar level. I know you're gone, but what color is a canister of black paint?
What color is the red line?
Yeah. Ridiculous, man.
I think I brain my damaged.